Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for those of us who find ourselves on this channel without any Piscean anything. Probably an empath. You're probably needing messages from your soul. Okay. So let's get started. I had asked what this reading is going to be about. And basically, what I got is the priority is shifting to love. This is telling me a lot. Is it like self-love? Are you becoming important to yourself? Are you now making yourself a priority? And here's the thing. You can't be like, I'm one of my priorities. By definition, priority is only one thing. You can only have one priority. You can only literally have one priority, or else it's not a priority. It's a to-do list. What's your priority? It's this need to understand priorities and what you're prioritizing in your life. If you're like a classic Piscean energy, classic empath energy, you're probably not even on the list of to do. That to-do list, you probably even don't have yourself on that list, not even at the bottom. A lot of Pisceans and empaths, far too much, we prioritize everything over us. It's one priority over another priority, or another priority over another priority. And we really got to stop doing that, because the way we treat ourselves is very, very much the way others will treat us. And no, it's not this thing of, if you don't love yourself, no one else will love you. There are those who have the capacity to love you beyond what you are able to love yourself. But any type of behavioral problems that they might have, any type of toxicity, it will be much easier to direct it towards you during times of conflict, and sometimes even no conflict, because they know you will accept it. So it's shifting to love, but we need to find out what that means. So let's get started. Here goes. Responsibility. Taking responsibility for yourself in your life. Really, really allowing yourself to see how the things you've decided have given people permission to be hurtful and harmful, or how it's given people no permission to love you and push them away. Okay? We do this often. We do this whole thing of pushing away, pushing away, pushing away. And I mean, some people might say it's because we play games. I don't think so. Maybe for some Pisceans, some empath, maybe y'all play games. But I think for the majority, I think we can talk on the majority when I say we don't know how to receive love because we haven't been able to receive love in the way that we know we deserve, with the amount of loyalty that we know we're worthy of. And so it becomes this thing of, when it's the real type of love, whether it's friendship, whether it's romance, we almost wait for them to be like, just kidding, I didn't actually love you. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. It hurts to live that way, because gosh, you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're always waiting for the person to leave, for your fear to be confirmed. Is your fear being confirmed, or is that like you manifesting that? You know what I mean? Like, are you manifesting that because that's what you're waiting for, and your behaviors are the very thing that's pushing them away? If you take a good look at your history with others, and if you see the same patterns through your relationships, and you're the common denominator, it's not to say it's your fault. It's to say that, is there something within the options that you consistently select that is leading to this? There's no more need for blame or fault. There's a need to begin recognizing the way you are helping to co-create these types of experiences with other people. Okay. A few years ago, it was this like cluster fluff of drama. And I couldn't understand why, because that was a period in my life and my journey that I was still extremely fractured from having to leave California permanently. And I was just very, very fragile. And I was staying in my own lane. I was overgiving. I was overly available. Ugh. I did not mess with anyone at all. And yet, this cluster fluff of Dramadon just descended from the pits of Satan's ballsack and was hand delivered to my door. And it wasn't just one person. Granted, I picked the princess of drama for a friend. God, poor choices, girlfriend. The most codependent, clingy, toxic person. That's who I decided to trauma bond with. Poor choices, check. And when it came time to walk away, this person like cranked up the drama, cranked it up. I didn't quite understand, because I don't function in that way. They cranked up the drama, and that's kind of on me, that I decided to come back like a year or so later, because I left that connection without knowing why. I kind of got triggered. Michael was like, "You're overloaded and you need some quiet." And I thought it was just me needing to get off of social media. And at that time, I was not, publicly visible. I wasn't. I was so hidden within myself that I kind of started live streaming, but it was the time when I would write, handwrite bullet points of what I will talk about in live streams. That was just crazy to me. And I walked away, because when I told them that I needed to take a break and I'm going to be very silent for a little bit, they freaked out. And so that freaked me out. And I was just like, oh, you're getting blocked on everything. Oh my God, what is this? And so I was gone for maybe a year or so. I want to say like a year. And I went through something, and I convinced myself a year later, after I went through something, that my issue is that I don't trust people. So I have to just trust everyone until they give me a reason not to. I could slap myself right now. I could legit slap myself right now. Because it was that one thought, one false accusation, that set me up for the most ugliest period I think I have ever lived through. That one thought. I told myself I didn't have permission to be intuitive and walk away from things before they were ugly. So for the first time, I walked back to someone. Well, she didn't do anything. I just freaked out and I blocked her. She didn't do anything. She didn't have a chance to do anything. She didn't have a chance to do anything, is the reality of it. And boy, oh boy, when I came back, that was the start of some absolute ugly toxicity. If that wasn't enough, I still continued to convince myself, okay, well, I was wrong on that one. But, no, that's just unique to her. I also, reconnected with a soul bestie around the same time I reconnected with her. Wouldn't you know? They were talking with each other about me. Wouldn't you know? Because what am I doing? Aside from overworking and overgiving, what am I doing to other people? I'm giving them opportunities to be hurtful and harmful to me. These were decisions that I made. And when I walked away from the first girl, she decided to begin literally making it her mission to every day find more people who've never heard of me, to find more people to be hateful towards me. If she saw you on the live stream and she saw me interacting with you, she would privately message you and she would be very sweet to you. And then she would say, "Oh, you know that, Emmie? Oh my God. Oh my God." And because I was teaching her, she didn't know. The outside of my auric shield is a mirror finish. She would go on the live streams. Anytime she's on a live stream with me, she would try and project draconian faces, like really grotesque demonic faces on me. And obviously that energy will register and be recorded. And the people who are looking for a reason to not like me, they'd believe that hook, line, and sinker, like, oh my God, look, her evil face is showing. Bitches, my auric shield is a mirror finish. The only thing showing is your truth. I still didn't say anything. I didn't defend myself. I didn't love myself enough to defend myself, to say something, to speak up. Yep. So anytime anyone would bond with me in some shape, in some way, anytime it appeared as though someone had some sort of friendship or connection with me, behind the scenes, she would message them. And when that was finished, because I finally said something while I was live, and no, I didn't cuss anyone out. I told them how sad it made me that I saw the potential in you. I see the potential in you, and you can help humanity evolve, but you choose to instead waste your time on me. Why? Who am I? That was my reaction. That was my reaction. And then another set of people came. The same caca. It's the same caca. And finally, when the final group became toxic, the last group who was associated with me became toxic, right? I mean, that was a case of one of the people got breached by 2M. I let them know, and they launched a full-on, outright war against me. And I was just like, "What just happened here? But what?" And I was just like, "You know what? F it. I'm good." I'm so good off people at this point. I'm just so good off people at this point. And that second person that I went back to as a friend, my soul bestie, it was after the final group was expunged, right? The final group was removed from my life. And I'm over here, like, not even sure who I am anymore. I distinctly remember I had a conversation with him. And he said to me, because one of the people that got expunged was a person he met through me and then began identifying as twin flames, which that's none of my business. But yeah, she got expunged too. And he said to me, I still remember, "Well, Emmie, you're the common denominator here." What the fuck is that supposed to mean? You're the common factor here. All that drama ties back to you. So, were you not present? Were you not present through this entire nearly 2 years? Were you not present? It's like, well, you're the common denominator. You don't understand your gravity on people. So basically, it was my fault, according to my soul bestie. It was my fault that when I finally allow myself to see what my intuition had been telling me the whole time about people being toxic, and I walk away or I go quiet, and they lose their mind. That's my fault because I'm the common denominator. I agree. I agree, but not in the way that he's trying to say. I take ownership of the decisions I've made. Decisions to overly support people who are not deserving of that type of support and that type of love. It is not my place to take over your mother's role. If you are not loved enough by your mother, that is not my place to fix that. Excuse me. Because that was my fatal flaw. To love you in the way that your mother couldn't. That was my fatal flaw. To support you in a way that no one else could or would. To make you feel whole and make you feel powerful. To not just take you under my wing, but let you ride on my back as I soar. That was my fatal flaw. To be blind to your toxicity. To put you before myself. That was my fatal flaw. Operative word is was. Was. At no point make myself a priority, even part of the priority list. All of these people that did these things to me were my priority at one point. Above all others, my priority. My priority. The last group. These mofos would text me if they're live so I could protect them. But I'm not to say anything. Bankrolling off of me. Have me as their personal security. And I'm the asshole there. I'm the asshole because you went around and told everyone I'm fucking evil. and that you don't like me. And when I finally had enough and just went quiet and walked away without saying a damn word, now I'm the extra asshole for what? Oh, because I just tossed people aside. But you didn't even want me around, bitch. You didn't even fucking want me around. So it doesn't matter how much you try. When you surround yourself with the toxic people because they need you, because it makes you feel as though you're relevant, it just opens the door for ugliness. It took me nearly 2 years to learn I am my only priority. Outside of my children and husband, I am my only priority. I was so fucking nice for that whole period, you guys. I was so nice. It's ridiculous. Like, I was so nice. As though if I was nice enough to enough people and I was needed enough by enough people, that somehow that would validate my existence. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It doesn't just knock you off center. It completely deletes your sense of what center is. I'm sorry you had to witness that, Catherine. I should have said something. People were using me as a template to learn how to behave and how to protect and love themselves. I should have been different. I should have been more me. I should have been more me. That's not authentic me, that's fractured me. I have to be sorry for existing. I have to make sure I don't step on weak people's toes as they try and trip me. I mean, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid I stay in my own lane and your foot gets hurt by me driving steadily centered in my lane. Like, I'm sorry you tried to trip me and your foot broke instead. I'm just so bad. You're not bad. You're not bad, I tell you. When people get angry about trying to trip you and instead they get hurt, like one of those people accused me of stealing their clients. You mean all the clients I sent to you? You mean the people who trusted you because I vouched for you? Those clients? Those? I stole them? No, what happened was they no longer saw you with me, so they decided to wait for my services instead, the services they wanted to begin with. And it ties back to this thing of like, I refuse to prioritize my understanding of the gravity of me. And it's not, I don't mean that statement like I'm the shit and everybody want. No, the gravity of me. What does that mean? That I'm able to see people in a way that most people can't see them in their lives. They're not interested necessarily in a service. They're interested in me seeing them, in sharing space with me privately. Because quite possibly for the first time in their life, someone else will be able to see them and understand them, not condemn them, despite the fact that I see them clearly. And I understand that now. I understand that now. It wasn't about morphogenetic services. It wasn't about subatomic attunement. That was part of it. But the reality is, I have such a long wait time because so many people see. And I see you. No matter what I see, you're good enough for me. You're good enough for me. So I'm not extra nice anymore. I'm not excessively nice anymore. But does that mean I'm not nice at all? That's just who I am. I'm a nice person. The emotions are not about the topic. I just remembered something from yesterday. I saw a man outside Walmart. His energy felt so broken by life. And it was cold. He had a shopping cart to carry all his things. And a couple cardboard signs asking for help. I'm struggling to find balance. That balance between giving and overgiving. And I thought about him the whole time I was in the store. Because there were things that I needed to get. And I wanted to get him a tent so that no matter where he ends up, he has a little place that's his. And I said I was overgiving again. So I threw the store and I didn't get him anything. I didn't get him a blanket, I didn't get him food, I didn't get him anything. And I said, if he's still outside, when I walk outside, I'll go back in and I'll get him everything. Because if he's not outside anymore, then that's evidence of me wanting to overgive again. And that's evidence of me not having dealt with my own toxicity towards myself. And I finished in the store and I walked out and he was still outside. And I didn't get him a tent. I didn't get him a blanket. I didn't get him any food. I didn't get him anything. And that just weighs so heavy on me. Sometimes you'll see homeless people who they'll have shopping carts, right? And that's how they carry the only things they own in this world. Oftentimes, if they have a shopping cart, there's just a whole bunch of like WTF in that shopping cart. This man's shopping cart was so organized. At the very bottom of it, he had a couple thin blankets and a couple pillows that were so perfectly stacked. I should have just got him something. I should have insisted. I should have insisted. I should have insisted and got him at least a 2-person tent so he has somewhere to put his things. I should have just got something. Well, see, we can't take on everyone's karma and lessons, and it's this thing of like, most of us are 1 or 2 paychecks away from homelessness. Is that a lesson? Or is that because the world is structured in a way to crush us? And there's nothing that anyone really has done to deserve being tossed away by the world. And so now, because I didn't do what I do, and what I do is who I am, I'm probably going to be looking for this man throughout the whole city. And I will never forget that I walked away from someone who needed something. He didn't ask anyone for anything because he was so ashamed. He couldn't look anyone in the eyes. He was so ashamed. And I should have already known. I should have already known. And so now that's my karma. Karma is not punishment. My karma will forever be thinking about, is he okay? Did someone eventually give him a tent? Does he have like a small, parking lot to kind of camp out in? The way his shopping cart was organized. I don't think he made a mistake. I don't think he made a mistake. I don't think his life at this point is just a string of poor decisions. I wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the ones who incarnated to help humanity. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be. Yeah. We must learn from everything how we must evolve. But did he know? Did he know that I saw him? Because his head was down and I didn't want him to catch me looking at him. But see, we can't beat ourselves up, but at the same time, if our priority is to learn our balance point, to learn who we are, to better function as we are in our most authentic state, then didn't I fail that lesson? And if everyone you come across is the embodiment of some sort of lesson that you're learning, wasn't that some evidence of failing to learn? Discernment? I mean, it could have just been homework for an upcoming test. Probably. 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 If I come across him again, I don't care if I have the funds or not. It can go on a credit card. He's getting a tent. He's getting a camping mattress. Yeah. Whether I have the funds or not, that can go on a credit card. I don't like to fail twice. I don't like making the same mistake twice. And clearly it was something that I should have done because it's still bothering me the next day. Like the next day. I've come to a very full understanding that I can't do that for everyone. That's not my role. Part of my role is to create something that will benefit many. That soul sanctuary, it will benefit many, not one at a time. But there's something different about this one. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but there's something different about this particular one. And I never even saw his face. So I really don't know who I'm looking for. I really don't know who I'm looking for. But stability, allowing yourself, even after you've kind of maybe lost your footing a little bit, to regain your footing. To regain that footing, allow yourself to become stable once again. Awakening in reverse. Sometimes, as part of your process of ascension, you have to kind of shut down, at least for a little bit. Sometimes we have to kind of shut ourselves off, cut ourselves off from other people. A large percentage of individuals, and when I say large percentage, I've never met one that hasn't. People who go through an ascension process, a cycle, they usually pretty much lose everyone. They usually pretty much end up with none of their original friends, maybe one or two. It doesn't matter how popular you were. It doesn't matter how close you were. Like when I went through one of my cycles, and this was like, God, early 2000s, there was no drama, no nothing. I just, one day, no one invited me anywhere anymore. There was literally no drama. My girlfriends at the time just continued to go out without me. Continued to get together without me. Stopped messaging me, stopped calling me, and I'm just so introverted that I did not have the courage to reach out to any of them and be like, "Hey, did I do something? Oh, bitch is not inviting me anywhere." I just was quiet, like, "Oh, they must not like me then." I probably should have reached out and like, "Hey, why are y'all going out and not telling me?" There was literally no drama. I just, I guess, suddenly had a different vibration at that point, and maybe it was letting them know, like, don't bother reaching out. Or maybe it was because the last time I spoke to them, the last time I went out with them, they brought up fringe topics, and I early 2000s, okay. I ended up saying a whole bunch of stuff that I had uncovered in my research period, stuff I had uncovered and stuff. It was scary for them to hear that stuff. And I didn't realize it at the time. Maybe that was it. But I mean, whether it's scary or not, since 2019, everything I said has played out. Everything. Everything I said. Well, there's a few more things that'll be playing out later this year, but everything I said, you know, when we go through ascension cycles, we have a tendency to need isolation, to be cocooned, so that as empaths and Pisceans, we don't allow ourselves, we don't have the opportunity to distract ourselves with other people's struggles. And I that was part of my thought process last night, where it's like, I came to the store specifically for something. Am I using this man's struggle to distract me from what I need to do? I mean, is that what I'm doing? I distracting myself by fixating on him? A large portion of the homeless population are actually veterans. A large portion. A large portion of the homeless population is in need of psychiatric assistance because they've been traumatized by the tours that they've served on. I mean, the words that are selected are just, they feel like lies. Oh, I went on a tour of duty. I took care of my duties and we were touring. Really? It's a theater of war. Theater. The words that are used. Yeah. It's just asinine to me. Really? Theater? Okay. Okay. It is orchestrated. Don't get me wrong. It is carefully orchestrated so that the news, the TV programming, could get the proper content, you know? Like, we need more of you to fight for our country. Last I checked, our country is the aggressor in multiple nations simultaneously. Last I checked. I mean, we run a wartime flag, so what do you expect? No, Emmie, it's for democracy. No, it's for expansion of empire. Yeah. I once got into a heated discussion with a woman on a Facebook post. She was so upset. And she's like, my husband fought for your rights. And I'm like, really? Where did he serve? My husband has been in the Middle East for the past 18 months. Bitch. How is he fighting for my rights in the Middle East while you sit there and try and shit on my federally protected right to freedom of speech? I just say it. What the fuck are you talking about? That I should let you make racist remarks because your husband is overseas fighting for my rights in a poppy field in Afghanistan? My rights are right here and you're trying to shit on them. I wish your husband come home, shake the shit out of you, shake some fucking sense into you. Are you fucking kidding me? Fighting for my rights overseas? Here's the thing. When we can have a full-on military installation in that country, we are at no risk of them invading us. Logic. 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 If we can have a full military installation in that country, those people most likely have zero ability to invade our borders. I mean, the logic. Okay, so they're going to invade us, but we have a full-on military installation, a full freaking base, because they need us to help stabilize their government, but their government is powerful enough to full-on invade us. They can't even take care of stuff at home. How are they going to come over here? Oh, but Emmie, I mean, 9/11. How did they get in the border? We let them in. We let them in. Like how Texas right now has no border. Yeah. They're not counting how many they've let through. They're not doing COVID testing. They're not doing anything under the basis of asylum without having been interviewed to determine if they qualify for asylum. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Damn. See what I'm saying? When I used to live in Iraq, they would literally drop bombs during the night and we wouldn't know where they were going to drop it. That's so not okay. I'm not against asylum. I'm not against assisting other nations. I'm against lies. If we're going to enter a foreign territory, it needs to be assisting, not expanding empire. It needs to have full transparency. It cannot be because assets within the government have done their work to destabilize that foreign nation so that we have an excuse to enter that nation. So years ago, there was discussions about some Pacific Trade Treaty or some, I forget what the heck it's called. I forget what it's called. But part of that, the United States needed the Philippines president to agree to it, and he wasn't agreeing to it immediately. Part of that discussion involved putting a military base in a certain location in the Philippines. That was part of the discussion. I guess the president didn't agree fast enough because guess what? A full-on typhoon devastated my country. The worst hit, the exact location they wanted to build the base. And now, because so many of my people were devastated, and this is to give you the clear picture of the gravity of this. Pretty much every year it floods. We call it a baha, okay? Rainy season, pretty much every rainy season it floods. Flash flood. They weren't even prepared for this, the gravity of it. Yep, HARP was used. HARP was used. You could see the detonations, the pulses of HARP in the weather recordings. Not in the sky. I'm talking about the Doppler, whatever the heck it is. You could see the pulses as the storm is starting to move westward, northwest, starting to move up towards like the China Sea and stuff. Sent it back down. I mean, please. People don't want to hear the truth about 9/11. The military brat, military wife says, watch the movie. It changes your whole perspective of what people will do for money, not freedom. Loose change. That's another really, really good one. That's another really, really good one. When you start to look at, I love the phrase, follow the money. So some of the most wealthiest companies in one of the towers pulled out a brand new insurance policy not long before that happened. So you're telling me there was a fire that was hot enough to melt steel like thermite. Who would melt steel? But out of the airplane that instantly imploded, and on top of all the rubble of a building who fell into its footprint, that's controlled demolition, fell into its footprint, and at the very top of all of this rubble, you found an intact passport? Oh my God. Every floor. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Come on now. Come on now. That's just ridiculous. I'm like, y'all really believe this? You guys really believe that? That Bin Laden did this, but I mean, all planes were grounded except one. One plane took off right after 9/11 happened. What was that plane? Who was on it? His family. He was a CIA operative. They trained him and then armed him. They used him to destabilize the region so they could enter. You guys. I'm just saying. Oh, well, shit. Hold on. What is going on? Oh my God. I'm not getting that off. That is just one cluster fluff. Okay, let me stop before I break everything. I'm just saying, guys, there's a lot of stuff that happens in this world. And if we don't make ourselves a priority, if we don't make our peace the priority, that's going to be an issue. It's already an issue. It's already such an issue. And we haven't allowed ourselves to recognize the issue is our compliance, not just with governmental stuff, federal stuff, military stuff, war stuff. I'm talking about also in our lives. Like in our lives, we do this on a personal level. And how has that turned out for you? Has it created more peace? Has it cultivated more internal peace? Turning a blind eye to what's actually going on. Has that helped people to better respect you? And here's my logic on respect. I cannot force you to respect me, but you will be banished if you don't. I'm like, oh my God. Who do you think you are? Like, you're acting like you're a queen or something. An empress. That's who. Respect me at the basic level that I expect. And if you're incapable of that, you're dismissed. Should I be embarrassed to have that type of standard? For people who think I should be embarrassed, you should be embarrassed for expecting me to settle for less. Just because this is my expectation for myself and my interactions with people does not mean I believe I'm the only one that deserves this. Yeah, no. I actually believe all of us deserve that. That like basic level of mutual respect. Mhm. Yep. Like I'm going to have to respect your decision to not choose to expect respect from other people. Just one of those things. Is just one of those things. you don't feel the need to expect that, then, there's a high likelihood that a large percentage of the world is not going to give that to you. There's a high potentiality for that. People will only live up to the expectation you set. There's no reason you can't have that kind of stand, Matthew. None. And it's the concept that you're subscribing into where I wish I could have had that too. That's you blocking it. And it makes it harder when we establish these things with people and allow them to do disrespectful things to us. I mean, the longer you allow that type of behavior, the more ingrained it becomes and the harder it is to shift it back to a neutrality. Like I could just go off at the mouth and just be rotten and salty. My husband tolerates that. He tolerates that. But I tell you, if I cross a line, he just, hey, sorry. Sorry. Oh my God. I was joking. Like, oh my God. Yeah. And as I'm doing the work on myself and prioritizing a more centered type of life, what's happened is I've learned I can't just be doing that. I can't just be saying whatever I want all the time, um, and wait for him to be the one to regulate me. I need to begin learning, like, there are certain things that I should not say. There are certain ways to say things that I should not say it in that way. You know, we have to begin taking the responsibility, taking the initiative to prioritize ourselves, our peace, our learning, our centeredness. If you're going to wait for someone to do it for you, you're going to wait your entire life. You will continue to draw the same type of people who lack respect, who lack the ability to see and honor boundaries, see and honor your sovereignty. Mm-mm. I'm good off that. I'm so good off of that. I'm so good off of that. There was this person who wanted me to do some like um interview. I don't have anything against the interviewer. I actually like their work. And but the thing was this, like I didn't want to do the interview just because it's like first I don't have the time. I'm like booked out for 2-3 months. I would need to fly into a completely different state. And like I'm not good being around people in person. I could do interviews on Zoom, live stream, but in person that makes me nervous. And instead of respecting that boundary where I was like, yeah, sure. And that's my bad though. Like, yeah, no, sure, I'll apply with you. And I didn't. I didn't apply. And so what did this person do? Contacted the personal assistant of the show and asked if they received my freaking application. Why would you do that? I was so pissed. And then what happened? He emailed me. I'm like, sure, I'll get the application out to you today. Again, I didn't have a problem with a personal assistant, the host, or the actual show. It ended up being a nice experience, but who does that? Who does that? Where, put you in a position where you have to comply, but then at the same time, why wouldn't I have just said something like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You go do that yourself. I'm good. It's okay. No thanks. I'm antisocial. No thank you. I didn't prioritize myself and my needs. And in that situation, that was something I needed to experience. So in many ways, it worked out nicely for so many different reasons. And that helped me to learn, like, I don't think this person is an actual friend at this point. I don't think so. I think this person is using me for all sorts of different things. As a matter of fact, I had already been thinking that for some time, but at that point, it was clear. It was clear. I did. I went. I bought a plane ticket and I went because this person was all up in my ass. Like, what time are you arriving? Did you get your plane ticket yet? I got it today. I got it today. Sure. I get it today. Yeah. Yeah. What time do you want me to arrive? I guess that's a better question. What time do you, because in real life, I pretty much am not combative in real life. I'm just not. I am a yes person in real life. That's why I'm not allowed to go in the messengers. I say yes to everything. I say yes to everything. I'm working on it. I'm so working on it. It probably is the thing that you're thinking about. Like I said, I did enjoy speaking to the host. That was a lovely part of it. It has nothing to do with the host or the show at all. Had more to do with before and then after what happened. It just, I couldn't align myself with something that was so obviously manufactured. I couldn't anymore. I couldn't. It was just so manufactured. This whole thing of like, this is it. We're gonna be famous. We're gonna be rich. Like, you're not. You're not. This is not it. This is just one event. I don't know. It's not. It's not. Yeah. It's just one of those things, you guys. Ethos was upside down. The belief structures of the environment were upside down in that connection. Again, nothing to do with the host, nothing to do with the host show, nothing to do with the host personal assistant. They were lovely. They were lovely. That was definitely lovely. But anything else was just one like control issue after another. I remember there was this part where it was like so I was live streaming, right? Today's a no makeup kind of day. So I was live streaming with them, with these people. And that memory came up recently on my Facebook. At one point in the live stream, because it was me, a person, and then the other person that was like orchestrating everything, right? At one point in the live stream, I guess they didn't realize, but they were recorded looking over at me really dirty. what? Yeah, that was the last that I needed to learn those types of lessons. That was the last. So I don't work with people anymore. I work with cheating. Yeah. I don't work with other energetic workers. I don't like tarot readers. No. I'll work with normal people, living normal lives, and people who I'm confident there's zero competition, comparison, or any of that. The moment I sense any of that, I'm gone. You can do that on your own. Yeah. Yeah. You can covet my life without me present. That's okay. You can choose to do that. I mean, for me personally, it's not okay to covet someone else's life, like create a life that is so beautiful for you that you don't need a vacation from it. But if that's what you choose, I mean, that's up to you. You don't need me present. You don't need me present. Um, Brooke, have you been present this long? Can you guys please share with me when you found me? I'm super curious. Like, what year? What year did you find me? At what stage was my my fluffery in? What stage of my development was I in? Wow, you have been around for a long time. Oh my God. 16? I think we grew up together. Oh my God. Dang, you guys. You guys have been with me for a while. We're approaching 2022. Can we like make this pact? I mean, you're definitely free to come and go as you please. But like, I have this obsession with developing lifelong connections with people. I never really do though. It's just like, well, that's not true. There's a very 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 small few who that's a lifelong connection. Yeah, I told one recently. I was like, I'm not letting you go. If need be, I will launch an entire war. you know, because like I'm just saying, you're stuck with me for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, you know. Yeah. So I long, know, years upon years upon years because I'm like damn near impossible for me. Damn near impossible for me for most people. Oh, I remember you blocking energy from one of them during a live. They were doing energy work on me. You asked me if it was okay. I said yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. See, like, I don't need to make up any details. It could be a whole freaking movie. Would you guys watch that? Would you guys watch that if it was a whole freaking movie just about the crazy stuff that happens in my life? I believe that show was 2018, like September-ish of 2018. Nice. Gosh, that's such a long time. That is such a long time. And animation. Someone said that when I do my makeup in a certain way, I look like anime. Another person said I look like an Arcturian. I'll take both. um, you found me through Eddie. I will always have an appreciation for Eddie. I will always have such a deep appreciation for Eddie. Um, I know one of the people that was toxic saw that I had a deep appreciation for Eddie, and they made it a point to speak to him privately and poison his perception of me. And that's okay. I mean, the way I saw it, And I can't ever be bitter towards him. He did a lot for my self-confidence and jump started a lot of my process. But the way I see it, if he can do those things that said about me privately to him, then I'm just gonna have to accept that as that. I'm not, and he didn't even ask me. Did he ever ask me if I had said or done the things I was accused of? So I just did that. Like, I'll always have like appreciation for Eddie. Like even with that, I can't be her. I can't like, you know, I was never at any point hurt when they crashed and burned. I wasn't. I was just like, well, I have to just respect what decisions he makes for himself. And if at any point he ever chooses to like confront me, then he'll actually hear the truth. We are who we were meant to be. So grateful for him being there for you when he was. Me too. Me too. He helped me to find my courage to let more people actually see me. Yeah. That's what it was. Just the fact that he was present, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. Um, Autumn is upside down. It's just a lot of BS happening this autumn. Invocation, like this need. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. I'm just having issues. This need to call in not other beings, but your personal power and your truth. Let yourself and let yourself receive your protection. Okay? Just let it happen. Let yourself receive the kind of love that you deserve and the kind of protection you deserve, okay? Um I can't understand just blindly believing something bad about a person just because some other person who doesn't actually convinces me anything. Well, that's the thing. Um the person started that whole she was all up in the comments making sure that we had an association. It's here and see. Hear and see me. And that's learned quite a bit. Um, I've learned quite a bit. I learned to trust it. I've learned to trust that intuition. Um, I've learned a lot in those 2 years. I learned so much. And now I think I'm at a point where all of that taught me to make myself my priority. My success is my own. I don't have to be apologetic for whatever I've earned through working for it. I don't have to be apologetic for working. I don't have to be apologetic for any success that I attain because of my hard work. I used to feel. Oh, can you guys hear and see? I'm hungry. Okay. I used to feel like I had to be apologetic for working so hard 7 week this just by being self. I don't share any form of my abundance with anyone. That's obligation, you guys. That's not an obligation. For a while, I like, you know, if I'm successful through the hard work that I put into what I do, everything I do, and it's not even like I'm rich. No, successful, meaning I am able to create a stability for myself as I fulfill parts of my purpose. To me, that's success. You know, a type of success would be to be able to be stable as you fulfill your purpose. That's success. It has really nothing to do with money. And I felt like I can't have the success on my own. I have to give it to someone else as well, or else I'm selfish and greedy and all of these other things. And it's like every single time that I've done that, it's only a matter of time before it's a competition. It's only a matter of time before it's a competition. I will not I will not align myself with any female light worker, energy worker, shaman, or whatever else. Nope, I'm fucking good off that shit. I'm so fucking good off of that shit. I will, however, support my certification program students, the ones who have successfully become certified. Fuck yeah. If I can tell your integrity, yep, if you have the capability of using my system in a very safe, I don't know. You know, that's okay. That's okay to me. You know, shaman energy walks alone anyways with spirit. Can I be really honest right now? And a lot of people are going to get pissed at this, but I have to say it. I have to say it. Should I say it, Miki? Miki, should I say it? I have specific beliefs about shamanism at this point. Modern day shamanism as it is, I have very specific beliefs. I have very specific perceptions. They're not good. They're not good perceptions. Not good. They're just not. And this is my personal opinion, which is not going to be a popular opinion. If you weren't trained by an indigenous commercialized thing, not authentic. This is my opinion. Miggy! Miguel! What the hell? Can y'all hear and see me now? Oh my goodness. all good. It's all good. Probably get crucified if y'all heard what I said. Miguel over here be acting up. Miggy, knock it off. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me get a final card for y'all. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let us put some Emmie in it. Oh my God. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? I mean, I feel like if people outside of the people who that practice belongs to are not benefiting from that, if your fees are going towards foreign companies, I need to launch a 501c3. I need to launch a 501c3. I need a 501c3. Yeah, for a while, people thought I was a 501c3. They thought I was a nonprofit organization because I was giving away so much. I'm not. I pay me taxes. I pay me taxes. All right. Here goes. Here goes. 501c3s. Let me just stop. Card number 6. 1. 1, 1, 1. I have abolished duality for myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. You look for me, and what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you? Holding up a mirror for you to behold God? Yes, these are the games of love and truth. Look for me and find yourself. For I am you and you are me. And together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a one-of-a-kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey. And there is no aspect of you that's not of divine origin. So then why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There's nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. No matter how dire circumstances may appear to be or despairing you may feel, there is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything in every part of existence, and that includes you in all aspects of your being and life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded, every part of you, every life circumstance. The divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left accounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. You must remember that you are a living heart, the dweller at the center between heaven and earth, star and soil, light and dark. If you cannot summon the joy to rise up and meet the divine beloved, fear not. That cunning lover lies deep within the depths, waiting to gather you into sacred embrace as you descend into darkness. Either through flying or falling, you shall be caught and tangled up in divine embrace. So fear not. Cast aside worry and concern. Know that you are thoroughly itemized on the divine ledger, and not one moment of your struggle or suffering shall miss the hawk like gaze of the ever attentive and heavenly beloved. This oracle comes to you with particular guidance. There is a friction or conflict within you or your life right now, a sense perhaps of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. What if you choose this path and it turns out the other would have been better? But how can you know now that what choice, if any, is most needed in your life? So many questions your mind is scurrying. There's no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes, to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it. Give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. You shall manifest your destiny just as the acorn grows into the oak tree. You cannot be other than what you are. And as you accept this, life responds. It breathes and relaxes around you so what you need can come to you more easily. It finds you, drawn to the need in you that's natural and inviting, and not a cause for anxiety or distress. The need leads to satisfaction. What is desired and what fulfills that desire is one. They are lovers that come to each other naturally, even through darkness and confusion, drawn to each other, following the natural course of the universe to become one. Do not fret or fear. Do not hold back from what feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just the lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead, let that inner love loose. Allow her to shake out her hair and put on her most sensuous perfume, and laugh as she dances barefoot in the fields of lush grass and fragrant flowers. Let her tempt her beloved to come close, because she can be seen. She can be heard. Her movement sends her scent through the air. She entices the yearning beloved to her. And soon enough they meet, and it becomes possible for yet again two to become one. And then there will be wild peace and ecstatic contentment within you. If there's any part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between old and new, between what has been and what needs to be, between passion and duty, creativity and rationality, between this role or identity, then know this: even the conflict serves. Don't choose either one and believe it the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can only be one or the other. At another level, a level of divine resolution, there is beyond the apparent polarity and conflict a third way. The rising up to where there is only one action taking place constantly. Open your heart. You'll find a bridge to understanding and trusting in that perfection there. Where it's always been and will always be. Don't worry, all is happening exactly as it should. This oracle brings you particular guidance. There is a revolution, a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed desperate or in conflict. Something you've been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. Perform the sacred honoring ritual and stay with your process. The coherence, the integration, the balance and coming together you seek is on your horizon, approaching you swiftly now. Your destiny is approaching. That destiny usually far exceeds anything you could potentially dream up for yourself. Sometimes, sometimes, sometimes it's hard to understand how you could be capable of so much, how you could be so powerful, how you could this and you could that. And, maybe you don't need to understand. Maybe you just need to accept. Maybe you need to prioritize the process with which you will learn to accept yourself as you are in any given moment. Accept your past, accept the potentiality of your future. Just accept. Do you have to understand? Does a mother have to understand exactly how her child is formed and every single stage of that child's growth before she gives birth. Heck, there are even some women who are not aware they are pregnant until they're in labor. Crazy, right? Yeah, one of my cousins, um, she didn't know she was pregnant for hella long. I think she already entered into the 3rd trimester. She had been like kayaking and hiking and just, doing all of these like vacation things that pregnant women probably shouldn't do. Like their doctor would have told them, don't do that. And then she was telling me, she's like one of my older cousins. She was telling me, like, one day she was like, oh, I have so much gas. And she told her boyfriend, like, can you feel that? I have gas. And he was like, he felt her belly and he's like, that's not gas. Really? She goes, yeah, I feel like I was robbed. I was like, robbed of what? She goes, I never vomited. I never like had cravings. I didn't even know. I was like, bitch, you was not robbed. You were blessed. Yeah, because she was telling me this is my first child, and I literally was like all day through the night. Couldn't keep any food down at all. It was horrible. Horrible. Yeah. And she goes, like, oh my God, I was so robbed. I didn't have any of that. I'm like, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. Stop it. Just stop. Yeah, she felt she was robbed. She didn't know she was pregnant. Yeah. And she said she had ginger ale with her, but she never, like, she just drank it just, fashionable. I was like, ooh. Yeah, there's been times where, like, I know that, like, oh, damn it. None of my children are planned, but I know right when we conceive. I know. I know. I can tell. I can tell. I can tell, and I'm just like, "God, now I gotta wait to confirm what I already know." Mhm. Yeah. I know before the egg implants into the uterine wall. I just know. Crazy, right? Yeah. I know because it takes about, I wanna say, like, a week or something like that. As the egg travels down and then implants into the uterine wall, it takes about, on average, a week. I know before it implants. I know when it implants. I'm just like, "Ugh! What is wrong with you, Frey?" Don't massage me ever. I don't know. My back is good. I don't need a back rub. I'm good. I'm just good. Nope. No baby oil. No almond oil. No nothing. No oils. No, I don't need you to exfoliate my back in the shower. I'm good. Leave my back sloughed. Like, just leave it. Just leave it. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No, I told my doctor too. I was like, I think I'm about 2 days pregnant. And she's like, No, no, that's not how it works." I was like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, the only way you could tell that is if you take a serum test." I was like, "Could we do that?" She goes, "Not for that many days." Yeah, no, 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 no cuddles. No cuddles, don't hold me, don't even look at me too long. Don't even look at me too long. Don't look at me when we talk. Stay in your seat. I'm gonna stay in my seat. No, we can't switch seats. I don't know what's gonna happen if I sit in the seat that you sat in. Your doctor didn't know about you, huh? No. Um, so it's a feeling, a knowing, a visual, and an audible. Crazy, right? Sir, please don't look at me too long. Sir, no, no, you are not allowed to sit anywhere near live streaming bed. No one sits here. This bed is completely taken. He opened the door. Like, nope. Nope. Oh my gosh. Mhm. I was still vomiting in the middle of like labor. I was vomiting. Oh my god. And my mom. So I gave birth in the hospital that my mom was working at the time, and she works in the NICU. So all of the LND, the labor and delivery ladies, they're all her friends and they're all my aunties. Like I grew up with these ladies. Could you imagine having an auntie stretching your birth canal? Do you know how that works? You know how that works? You want me to share? It might be a little TMI. um, so one auntie was Can you hear and see me? Let me just not. Let me just not. They're not my like biological aunties. Yeah. So nurse, game end of things. So sometimes mom or whatever, I'm helping you to prepare to go into full on labor. Sometimes they'll pour oil. They'll just put their digits and stretch it for like an hour. Like, so that's what's going on. My mom's by my head. I'm laying down. They're gossiping. I'm like, this is so awkward. This is so awkward. And then I'm like, now I'm dry heaving. Now I'm dry heaving. I'm like, I need a bucket. And my mom's like, would you have some shame? That is so gross. I think she needs to leave. I I I think my mom told me to have some shame. And I still remember this like it was today. She says, I don't know about any because they were like, man, she's going to vomit. Hand her the bucket. So she hands me the bucket. Now she's kind of embarrassed. And she's like, I don't know any of this. I just show up to the hospital and I have my makeup. They put me to sleep. And then they give me the baby. I don't know this. I was like, we're all C-section babies. I mean, my siblings are all C-section babies. So like, she showed up at the hospital with her makeup. She don't know none of this. Like, and as if that wasn't, I was just laying there like, it's not bullshit. I was there staring at the lights like, this is just some bullshit right here. I can laugh about it now. And then as if that wasn't bad enough, she decides to pull down my she pulled down my gown. I was like, look how big her boobs are. Look how big that is. That's like bigger than the baby's head. Yeah. And I was just like, listen, just get the baby out. Just get the baby out. I just, and even her friend was like, stop it. It's still my patient. She comes, she goes, stop it. That's still my patient. You're going to get me in trouble. And my mom was like, but she's my daughter. But that's my patient. If she complains, she's not going to complain. I'm just saying. That's my mama. It's fun times. Fun times. All right, guys, I got to get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Um, I got love for my mama. I got love for my mama. Congrats, Sochi. You have a few more days. You have a few more days. A few more days. I'm just saying. He's almost ready, though. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye, everyone. Oh, I'm going to be going live later on today to do auric paintings. I haven't done that in years. So I have it posted on my website on the homepage. If you want to join, the homepage of my website is called Aura Paintings. Yeah, it's a really fun type of live stream, and I do the paintings for you guys. I explain what I see. If you've ever been curious what I see with your auric field, this is how I see it. That's how I see it. So I got to get going. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.